I am live, hopefully. This should work. Yes, I will give you chai. Depika. I'll remember your last name much better than your first name. Hold on, where did I put it? Hello, hello, hello. 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 Uh, 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 uh. Mm, mm, mm. I'll, okay. Okay, so this. Let me play some music. Uh, yeah, I have to find low. I have to find basically royalty-free, non-copyrighted music. Otherwise, I will get issues. I will have problems with everything. What about this? This is like chill jazz. Ah, this is sweet. Oh, this is perfect for what I plan to do today. Hello, hello. This is perfect what I plan to do today. The music is fantastic for it. So today is story time. This is the Sunday thing that I plan to do. So today I will tell you a story, and we will start with one of the basic ones is how I even got to Japan. A little backstory before we get started with the story. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Backstory before we get started with the story. Both of those are stories. So, how did I even manage to get to Japan? It was all thanks to the fact that I lived in China. I lived in China in the period from November of last year, that's November 2019, and I left China in the middle of February in 2020. Now, if you look at that date a little bit closer, middle of February 2020 was the biggest, the highest rate of infected in China, according to the official numbers, which we all know we shouldn't really trust, right? The biggest, highest infection rate of COVID in China at that time. And we were basically quarantined. We weren't allowed to leave. We were allowed to leave once every 2 days for 2 hours. One person from one household. I dropped my bottle. So you basically can't do anything in that time. So there's you can leave for 2 hours. You get your temperature checked at the apartment gates because they have like these apartment complexes, walled off apartment complexes. You get your temperature checked. You also get. Why'd you retract your message, Deepika? I saw it. I saw it. Let me give you some chai if I still have. Yeah, I do still have some chai. I know it's. I know that it's in the Nutella thingy, but this is focus. Isn't that chai? Doesn't it look nice? That's chai for you. So, let me lower the music a little bit. It's a little bit loud for my ears. Uh, Let me get back to the don't deserve two hellos. Making me jelly. What do you mean I don't deserve two hellos? I'm a nice person. I'm a good boy. But I don't like this chai really because it's smoked. It smells like smoked meat and it tastes like smoked meat. It tastes like smoke. And I made a mistake in buying it. I don't really like it. I'm not a fan. So, as I was saying in my story, I lived in China back then and we were quarantined like nowhere else in the world. If they see that you have a little bit of a temperature, they would weld you in your apartment. One of my friends from China, a South African, almost got welded into his apartment, which is not fun. So, I was absolutely sick and tired of it. I couldn't take it anymore. And I decided I couldn't take it anymore after 2 months of quarantine. So I decided with myself that I will go somewhere. And because I already been to Korea a few months before that, I decided that it's time to go to Japan. And that's what I did. I took a flight to Seoul in Korea, where I already spent some time before. And from Seoul, I grabbed a plane from to the Kansai airport in Osaka. So in the Kansai airport, I was perplexed. I had no idea where I was. And when I left the airport proper, I had no idea how to get anywhere. So I grabbed. They told me I could grab either a train or a bus to Namba Station, which is relatively near where my hotel was. So I decided, hey, I'm in Japan. I don't want to drive in a train. I don't know if I'll see anything. Better grab the bus so I can look out the window, see what's going on, how people are, and whatnot. So I took the bus, and I'm so glad I did, because the trip from Kansai Airport to Osaka was so cool. It was so amazing because I went through a big industrial area, which was massive, absolutely massive industrial area. I have never seen a bigger industrial area in my entire life, which was awesome for me. So I was expecting there was going to be a lot of pollution because there was so much industry, but no, none of it. There was barely any pollution that I noticed. I didn't notice any pollution. So got to Osaka. They left me off in some sort of underground area, which later I found out was Namba Station, with a shopping center or whatnot. It was in there. So I was in that underground station. Took me an hour and a half to find a way to get out of the underground station. Finally, somehow, I don't even know how, I found a way to get out of that underground station and went off to my hotel. Luckily, it was really close by. And I was pleasantly surprised when I found out that in Japan, during the COVID-19 thing, in Japan there are a lot of tourists from China, and when China blocked its borders, and Japan blocked its borders, there weren't many people coming into the country. Meaning that hotel stays were super cheap. Absolutely super cheap. Making me jelly 2.0. I know it. Super cheap hotels. I stayed in this capsule hotel with an onsen and free coffee and free tea, which was great. And it was perfectly comfortable. It was great. And I paid roughly around 20 US dollars, or roughly around 2,000 yen. I can't really remember the price off the top of my head right now. So I stayed there for about a week. That was in Osaka. Traveling around Osaka was madness. I met a friend there called Caleb. I'll let him know to subscribe to this channel. I didn't even tell him that this channel exists. But I made a friend called Caleb, and we would have a lot of fun partying almost every night. And the main party spot in Osaka where we went to was a place called Amerikamura, or the way Japanese like to call it, Amemura for short. Amemura was a strange place. It had a big Statue of Liberty there, which was really weird. In Japan, you have a big Statue of Liberty, but it wasn't as big as the life-size Statue of Liberty. Then let's not lie. So Whoop, let me just do this. Okay. Afterwards, I spent some time there, and it was relatively fun. Not relatively, it was awesome. I had loads and loads of fun over there. But I decided that I wanted a change of scenery, that I would go to another place, another city. And the other city I went to was Kyoto. But before I continue, I have some videos to show you that I shot from Osaka. I'm sorry, I'm sweating. It's really hot here, and I don't have AC. If I turn on my fan, it's gonna make a humming noise in the microphone, and I don't want that. So I will take the opportunity to show you a few of the videos that I recorded in Osaka. So I just like to have a second. These are generally like some sort of B-roll footage. This is some sort of B-roll footage that I used for my videos. My videos from Japan. When I was talking in Serbian on my Serbian channel, I was talking about which city is the best to go to, where is the most fun. And spoiler alert, Osaka is absolutely fun. Super duper fun. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off the sound. I'm gonna turn off the sound for this. This video right here, which I'm going to share right now. Here's my window. Nope. That's source. And capture. Second, not edge. Let me see if I can actually find it. Oh my god, I can't believe this. Why is this making it so difficult? I'll open it in VLC for me. Let's see. Hopefully it's gonna catch it. Okay. Shut off the sound. Probably heard a little bit of the rustling noises of people walking around and talking. VLC. Here we go. Okay. We're gonna activate this and over it. I'm gonna make myself small, somewhere around. See what this. Hope it plays it well. Is it playing it well? No, it's not. Why is it not playing it well? Sorry, guys. Figure this out a little bit better. Turn this off. Ah, hello. There's the image from Osaka that I took. But it's not really what we want. We want a display capture, and I'll capture other why won't you let me do this? Why won't you let me do this? Pain in the ass. Okay. So I'm going to capture the display. I'm going to capture this monitor. All right, here we go. So this is one of the videos that I captured. This is one of the most famous streets in Osaka, and this is Dotonbori. That's the name of the street, Dotonbori. And it's somewhere near Americamura. It's close to Americamura, but it's this street where if you played Yakuza 0, they call it Sotonbori, and you basically spend most of your time here. But this is where I spent a lot of the time. I found it really fun. I'll show you. I turned off the sound, and I'll play the music. Why didn't my music? Never mind. So this is what it looks like, full of people walking around, full of good food outside. Maybe I'll turn on the sound, maybe. This is Family Mart. This is where you spend most of your money and most of your time. Family Mart is fantastic. Look at that. And that sound, that music, holy Christ. This is bringing back so many memories. Yeah, so that's not what I want to do. Not what I want to do. I want to do this. I have a few more. I'll take a moment to show you a few more of those. So this is the pier where the one I was talking about. Deactivated the wrong device. This is from the photo that you see in the background. It's really awesome. This is where I spent a lot of the time just chilling out, sitting down. Really, really nice place. My cat wants. Now, which one do we? Well, I have a few more. Yes, this is one of the. Yo, bro. Yo, CA. What's up? How you doing? I'm showing off some of the video footage I took in back when I was in Japan. So right now I have some more footage to show. Chilling, eh? That's good. It's so hot here that I can barely relax. It's really, really hot. So this is one of the more famous sites in Japan. You've probably seen it. This is Japan is next level, absolutely. Absolutely. This is the Running Man thing. But my camera, because it was a little bit too dark, didn't really grab the photo. Japan is absolutely next level. I love it. It's one of the best places I've ever been in my life. And this is what it looks like driving around in the Shinkansen. Riding around in the Shinkansen. Why do I say driving? I'll turn it back on. I tried to record this as steady as possible. I don't know how much I succeeded. Not really sure. Looks like right out of a sci-fi movie? Absolutely. It absolutely looks like a sci-fi movie. Not this part, the part in Osaka. It absolutely looks like a sci-fi movie. I can't even believe that I was there and that I spent time there. It honestly still seems like science fiction that I was even in Japan. It seems so weird that I actually spent a large amount of time there. I can't get used to it that I've basically lived in Japan for some time. It's kind of strange to me. So I'll get back to my story. My story. The story continues on with me going to Kyoto. Now, Kyoto was a little bit different. Kyoto for me is a land of contrasts. You leave the train station and you see this massive tower, and this train station looks modern and awesome, and then you go to walk a little bit and you get to those, yeah, the part before, yeah, the Osaka part and the next to the river, yeah. So, oh, I should stop doing that because it makes my when I lift my hands up, it makes my camera go wonky. So let me continue on. In Kyoto, it's a land of contrast. So you're in one place, it looks kind of modern and nice, and then you walk a little bit further from the train station, and it's like you enter like 17th century Japan. It's completely different, completely changed, uh, very rustic and very cool. But at the same time, even in that rustic part and very traditional Japanese part, there is also a lot, and I do mean a lot, of Western style buildings. Like it looks like something pulled out of Amsterdam or Belgrade or I don't know, Paris. Or there's even one building that for some reason reminds me of New York. This is why I call Kyoto the land of contrasts. Also, Kyoto is one of the very few places you can actually see geisha still around, and that's for me that's absolutely awesome. People are really nice. Generally in Japan, people are really really nice and really good people. They always want to help you out and they always want to be there. And it happened for me that, for example, I'm lost and I ask somebody, "How do I get to this and this part?" Did you eat raw fish? Absolutely. It was amazing. So there comes a time that I just wanna go somewhere and I get lost and I don't know how to get there and I don't know how to go back. So I ask some random Japanese person, "How do I get there?" And he will not always only tell me how to get there. He's going to walk me all the way there. Take the time of his from his day, from his life, to walk with me together to the place where I need to go. That is why I think they're really cool and awesome. What does it taste like? It tastes like fish, but it tastes really, really good, especially if you dip it in soy sauce or like that soy vinegar thing that balsamic vinegar thing. It tastes really good. It doesn't. It's not gross. It's not. It tastes like undercooked fish, for example, like that. So sometimes you get that fish which is a little bit. It's not. It doesn't really break apart. It's just like meat. That's what it basically tastes like fish meat. Wow, the king of explanation, Lazar. Raw fish, it tastes like fish meat. That is the perfect explanation. I am the king of explaining things. And I have cat hair in my mouth again. All right, so after Kyoto, I went back to Osaka. But there was one reason why I went back to Osaka. It is to go and visit my friend up in Fukui. So nothing really happened, nothing major happened in Osaka the second time. But when I did go to Fukui, that was really strange. It's one of those utilitarian kind of towns, and it's not very big. It's not very big, uh, but there is. It's kind of depressing. I don't know how to explain it. Did you go to Hokkaido or Okinawa? No, I haven't went to Hokkaido or Okinawa yet. I'll get through all of the places where I went to in this stream. So I went to Fukui, and we're talking about Fukui now. Fukui is north of. It's a small town north of Osaka, northeast of Osaka, and basically directly north from Kyoto. No, wait. Did I go to? No, sorry, I made a mistake. I went from Kyoto to Fukui, and then from Fukui to Osaka, and then from Osaka to Fukuoka. Yeah. So I went from Kyoto to Fukui. Fukui was the people there are really really nice, like generally more nice than uh, people from anywhere else. I'm not saying that. I don't know. I was one of the few foreigners there. I know about 10 foreigners. Maybe there's a little bit more. Maybe there's something I don't really know. But I know that it's a small place and people are generally friendly and a lot of them really know each other and it was fun. Fukui was pretty good. I had a few bars that I like to go to, which I really enjoyed. So Fukui, and that's the only place where I saw a stuffed bear with big balls. So I don't know if I've never seen something like that before or since. I don't know what that means. I think it's called a tanuki or something, but it has the nuts the size of basketballs, like two basketballs hanging between its legs. I don't know why it's there. It looks scary. It was freaking me out when I was walking alone at night in the middle of the night. It was pretty weird, but it was there and I saw it. Didn't grab a picture of it. I feel bad about that. And after Fukui, uh, I went back to Osaka, and from Osaka, I went to Fukuoka. Oh, also, before I continue, there was this random dude which would randomly show up in random places in Fukui in his little van, and he would sell ramen out of that van, and that ramen is absolutely fantastic. It's one of the best ramens I have ever eaten in my life. It is so good, but you never know when he's gonna be there, right? You always it's basically a luck a luck of the draw if you're gonna meet him and where you're gonna meet him because he spawns in the various places around the city. Spawns. I like to say that. So went to Fukuoka. Fukuoka had some of the best food I've ever eaten in Japan. Fukuoka food was amazing. And Fukuoka has this vibe of being a more modern, more sunny place, and it has a big vibe of being a bit warmer. That's the first thing that comes to mind. It's a little bit warmer than the other places I've been to, but at the same time, it's a very vibey town. People are also exceptionally friendly. Not a town; it's a big city. People are exceptionally friendly. I went to a bunch of bars, and it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. That's the first and last time I ever sang karaoke. No, not no. Why am I saying that? That's the first and last time I've ever been to an actual dedicated karaoke booth and sang there with some people that I met on the street earlier that night, which was pretty awesome. After that, I went to Tokyo, and I was expecting that it's gonna take a long time for me to get to Tokyo, but with a Shinkansen from Hakata Station, which is basically how they call Fukuoka Station, from Hakata Station all the way up to Tokyo. It cost me a load of money, but with a Shinkansen, it took me about 4.5 hours to go like more than 1,000 kilometers, which more than 1,000 kilometers is a lot if you think about it. But I got there and got out of the station, and I had no idea where to go. I booked my stay somewhere around the station, but I had no idea how to get there. And there's one thing that's really annoying about Japan that really pisses me off and grinds my shit is that Google Maps go really really wonky in Japan. I don't know why. I don't get why this happens. I don't know how this happens, but Google Maps go absolutely batshit crazy. At least for me, and I've heard other people tell me that the story that Google Maps are absolutely insane in Japan. For me, it went crazy. Like it would point me on the other side of the city where I'm not, and it took a while. I had to use street signs for the first time in Japan. I had to use street signs to find where I'm going because my Google Maps just wasn't working at all. Yeah, I found that little hostel thing, and it was basically a big room with a bunch of people in there, but all of the beds were like capsules, like a capsule hotel, except it was much bigger in the capsule. Like you could sit upright. You would tend to get lost a lot too. Don't worry about it. I generally don't get lost, but every time it happened in Japan more than anywhere else in the world. Like I knew the city where I lived in China like the back of my palm. I don't really get lost that often, but I get lost sometimes. I spent a long time there, and I only got lost maybe 5 times in various cities. So I finally found it, and then I ate some organ meat. I actually like organ meat. I don't know, maybe I'm weird. But the problem was that I miscalculated and went to Tokyo one day earlier than I should have. So I had to book that hotel room. Otherwise, I just wanted to get to Tokyo and get to the airport and go back to Serbia. But I had to book that hotel, found a hotel, stayed the night. It was really fun. The people were really friendly. That was like the friendliest hotel I've ever been to. It's not a hotel, it's a hostel. That was like the friendliest hostel I have ever been to. And it was pretty great. Yeah, understandable. It's a foreign country. Uh, Now, I've stayed over there in one, two, three, four, five, five accommodations, five different accommodations. The first one was I'm gonna talk about all of them, but I only remember the name for the first one. The first one was J Ship. It was a capsule hotel. It had an onsen. It had all of the amenities you needed. As I said, free coffee, all sorts of stuff like that. It was great. I loved it, and it had like this Zen garden on the top floor. Really, really awesome. I stayed there a long time. Second hotel I've been to Kyoto. The hotel room was absolutely massive. The hotel room was huge. It was a huge hotel room. It's bigger than this room, like double the size of this room that I'm in now. It was huge, massive. The bed was comfortable. I had a washlet. I had like one of those bathtubs where you basically set the temperature you wanted, and it just pours in there. And I even had a TV in the bathtub. Watch some stupid Japanese TV show. The Japanese TV sucks. My personal opinion. There are a lot of stuff, which is there are a lot of shows that are awesome in Japan, like maybe Takeshi's Castle. That's one I can think of, or like Game Center CX. That's uh, that's also a cool show. But other than that, like daytime television in Japan and probably like everywhere else in the world sucks. It's weird and it's annoying and I'm not I didn't enjoy it. Uh, at the same time, going out and having fun, I've been to one of those retro game stores. I like video games a lot. I've been to one of those retro game stores. That was amazing. I've even been to a bar where you play video games and drink with friends. That was also cool. So that was the second hotel. Really, really, not really expensive. Like again, because of the COVID, I paid around 2,000 yen for it. Uh, Afterwards, I went to went back to went to Fukui, where I stayed in the creepiest, absolutely creepiest hotel that I have ever been to. It's so weird. It's one of those older hotels. It looks like it's from the 70s. It when you go up to my floor where I used to stay, you would have like flickering lights and stuff, and you would have like where various buzzing sounds, and you would always have this feeling that you're being watched. It's not dirty per se. It's just old, and you go into your room and you have to stick this. little piece of plastic into the socket so you can turn on the lights. It's so weird. It's such a weird place. And the toilet was the bathroom was really small, and the toilet was really up against the place, yeah, the sink where you wash your hands. And it's like all sorts of joined up in there, and it was a weird place, really really weird place. And when you go up to my floor where I was, the hotel was completely empty. Like there were, I don't think there was anybody apart from me. So when you go to my floor, you hear like buzzing and stuff like that, and it's everything's quiet except for the buzzing and the flickering lights. It's so weird and so creepy, and I don't know. It was weird. It was kind of strange. I didn't. I'm not a fan of that. Afterwards, I went to back to Osaka, and I found that's where I found the cheapest place I have ever been to. The cheapest, absolute cheapest place I have ever been to, and that's I don't know the name, but it's like this small, old-timey house. It's really old. It's like one of those old houses, and I paid about 1,200 yen for it for a night. It was really cheap. It's cheaper than living in an apartment here or over there. Really, really cheap. I had a relatively big room, and I had a sink in the room, and I had this weird shrine that I didn't know what to do with. It was like it was right there in the corner. There was a shrine in the corner, and what do I do with a shrine? I don't know. So, and I slept on the futon, and it was really cool. But, but, I guess I have a lot of luck with these creepy places. I went there. There was nobody there. There was not even a place to check in. Uh, the guy told me like, hey, well, I called the owner of the place, and he's like, oh, you can stay. We'll talk in a few days when I'm free, and then you can pay me for the time. And I was like, okay, sure. So I go up in there. Not a single person. The lights are dimmed. I don't have video of this. I wish I did, but the lights are really dim. You have like two lamps in the whole hallway area. Two lamps in the whole hallway area. The lights are dim. It's short. I'm a relatively tall guy, but it's kind of short, and you have these like toys and these charms and shit like that all over the hallway over there. And that was a pretty strange first impression. Really really creeped me out. I mean, I'm the person who enjoys being creeped out. I like horror movies and stuff, but this was legitimately the first time I've ever seen something like that. And the noises that I'm guessing that it's old because of the old wood and stuff, but it would constantly make these creaking noises and like hitting noise. It was just a weird place. Had a weird vibe. I liked it. I liked it a lot, and it was very spacious and very cool. And I had one of those. You escaped the murder attempt. No, nobody tried to kill me. Although I did have my door was made of paper, so if somebody really wanted to, they could have. It was it's such a strange place, such a strange place. But I did enjoy it. And the second to last hotel I stayed in was in Fukuoka, which was this big hotel branch. Nothing to say, just an average hotel room. It was pretty awesome. Not gonna lie. Uh, had everything you really needed. They wanted to prepare me breakfast, but I at that time I would sleep until like 2 or 3 p.m. So I didn't want to. Tokyo, Tokyo, yes. Tokyo was really underwhelming. I don't know why. It wasn't as cool as I expected it to be. Really, really quite underwhelming. I spent some time there, a few, just 2 days. Like I said earlier, I talked about it how I missed my train and stuff. The hotel, really nice people, really nice staff. Uh, I have nothing to say against the places where you can the place where you sleep. It was pretty cool. You had pretty much everything you really needed. And yeah, that's about all like an overview of my trip to Japan. I didn't really get into many details of what I did. This is how I got there, why I got there, and where I stayed. So basically, it's just a little overview to get you started, to get this whole shebang started. And I'll get into more detail. I have a lot of cool stories which I need to get into. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I hope to see you next week. So remember, Saturday is language journey and Sunday is story time. So I'll see you next Saturday. Time, I don't know yet. We'll figure out the time soon. So see you then. Bye bye.